Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game, it's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for, and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads, and everything else that makes this house of hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae.
And this is our house. I'm trying to get you all hyped up on this one.
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the House of Hockey podcast, episode 141. I'm one of your hosts, Breezy.
And I'm your other host, Rae.
And you're very defeated in your Kane Blackhawks jersey.
I am wearing my Blackhawks jersey that is not very old, that has Patrick Kane 88 on it for the last time. And
you don't have to wear it for the last time.
It's worn for the last time. I'm going to have to put it in a shadow box because the next time I'm going to wear it is at his retirement ceremony, whatever that's going to be. And that's it. And then maybe in like 20 years from now, when it's cool to rock like a veteran player at like a game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like people wear like Stan Mikita jerseys. Like, that's going to be me when I'm like 70 years old at a Blackhawks game wearing this Patrick Kane jersey. So
fair enough.
Hopefully it stands the test of time.
I'm sure it will.
I have no idea, but I thought today is the day. I've got to wear it because I can officially comment on the news of Patrick Kane, right?
You can.
Yeah.
You very much can.
Breezy was at a concert last night, which we will talk a little bit about later at the end of the episode. So she is a little tired.
I'm just a little tired today.
I'm gonna do my best to not have any very loud outbursts to ease her pain. But here is, I feel like I just have to start with this. This is the official statement. Patrick Kane is now officially a New York Ranger, which is so weird to say.
But you're okay with it.
I am very okay with it. I officially support his choice. I'm glad he went to a team that has a lot of potential, at least in the next few years, to win a Stanley Cup or at least make playoffs. There's a lot of talent on that team. There's young talent, there's veteran talent, there's everything in between. It's very well balanced. And he had to go. I do not blame him for wanting to leave in the least. I think he really wanted to stay as a Blackhawk for his whole career. However, in the last, let's say, 5 seasons of the Chicago Blackhawks, the team, not aside from all of the legal drama aside, were not doing the right things to really build. Well, they were trying to build. They're trying to build upon the Kane and Tays legacy that was there. And they acquired a lot of players. They were developing players. And then in the last 2 years, they've traded all of those people away, including more of those people at this trade deadline outside of Patrick Kane. And there's nothing there. There's no reason for him to stay with a team that's going to take, I think, 15 years, maybe more, to really become a contending team again. I would be very surprised if we do. I also watched, so the Blackhawks started this sort of like documentary series on their YouTube channel, and it's called, I wrote it down because I knew I would forget, Every Shift. And it's sort of documenting their rebuild, and they followed along the days leading up to Kane's trade, and the GM Kyle Davidson just saying that this is what was the right thing for Patrick. This was the right thing to do for him, for what he's done for the team. He thought long and hard about this very difficult decision to leave the Blackhawks after 15/16 years, depending on how you want to do the math. That's a long time to be with the team. And it was his first team and his only team. And I think Patrick Kane said it really well that, like, you know, you dream of wanting to stay with one team your entire career, but that's not always the reality. And he's got good years left in him, and he wants to play, and he doesn't want to be on a team that absolutely sucks. And I don't blame him. The other thing I have to comment on is the fact that there was a lot of other podcasts, blogs, whatever, saying that, like, how could Patrick do that to the Blackhawks? Like, meaning, how could he force the Blackhawks' hand in requiring him to be traded to the Rangers for, it didn't matter what they got in return. Like, they got no assets really in return for Patrick Kane. And, like, I see what you're saying, but what Patrick Kane has done for the team with 3 Stanley Cups and 15 years with the team, the man and the talent deserves to be treated and playing and treated well. And if that's the decision he wants to make, he should go. And I don't think that that is any kind of realistic expectation that now he owes the team something. What has the team done for him and Taze in the last 7 seasons? Absolutely nothing. We've been nowhere. We've not had any opportunity to be in a playoff position. So I don't think he owes them anything. He gave them what he owed them in those years and in his contracts and in those early seasons. So, like, he's done as far as, like, owing the Blackhawks anything, especially with the way that they have proceeded with trades and dismantling this, like, Bowman era team. I don't think he owes them anything. And you can come at me, but I don't think he owes the team anything. The GM, Kyle Davidson, was like, Patrick Kane will always be a member of the Chicago Blackhawks family. He is always welcome. And that's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't owe them squat.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like,
I mean, I think what they did to give him what he wants in order to have, like, it was almost sort of like, I mean, he deserved to go and to go to a place where he wanted to go. And they did that for him. And I think he is grateful for it. And he's just no animosity. It's just more so of like, I just have to go do it.
It's business.
Yep.
It's business.
It is business.
And I really don't think that he was, like, trying to shaft the Blackhawks. Like, that's clearly not his MO. He wasn't intentionally doing this because he's like, well, screw you guys. He's looking out for himself because he has to, because that's how this works.
Exactly.
And I don't think that he did anything wrong. And what were they the Blackhawks aren't even in a position to ask for anything good in return when they have completely dismantled the team. There's nobody on the team that we know besides Seth Jones. And like, why would you even, this is not the time to try to get an asset from New York. Like, what, you're going to try to get Alexis Lafreniere? Like, yeah, right. They're not giving you him. Like, no. Like, you're not going to get anything anyway from New York, at least, who's in a position to play really well. So it's kind of like, you weren't going to get anything anyway, so just deal with it. So
yeah,
that's what I have to say about that.
That's what you got to say about that. Well, maybe we should address the other elephant in the room for another player that wanted to spend his entire career with one team, but got booted unexpectedly. Jonathan Quick was sent to Columbus
for like a half a day.
For half a day, basically, for Gavrikov and I can't remember his name. Korpisalo, yes.
Yeah.
Which Kings fans are very, very, very upset about. I mean, when I first heard the news, I was shocked, much like everybody else. And it kind of got me thinking, though, because it's like there's been so many years where Quick hasn't been Quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of people that kept saying trade Quick, trade Quick, trade Quick. And then when it happens, everyone's like, oh, how do you do that? Like, why would you trade someone? Why would you do that? Why would you do this?
But those are the same people who are saying, we need to trade, we need to win, we want to chase the cup. And it's business, first of all. And second of all, Quick just isn't Quick. And I think fans are holding on to what Quick was and what he has done, but not who Quick is now. And you can't take incredible saves and from certain periods of the game and like piece them together to make Jonathan Quick again.
No.
It just doesn't work that way. And if you want the team to move forward, if you want the team to win and have a chance at a Stanley Cup, then you need to trade for players that can help you get that. And if that's what we got in return for Quick from Columbus, even if it is a rental for Gavrikov, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, we'll grow, teams will grow. And Quick wanted to then go to Vegas, and that's good for Quick. And if he is going to have a turnaround season and a revenge season, then that is what it is. But I think that it's selfish of Quick to maybe continue to say that he's blindsided by certain things when he knows he hasn't been playing very well. But he hasn't spoken a bad word about the Kings, so that's a good thing. But it is business, and I think that, I mean, obviously he's going to sign a one-day contract, he's going to retire a King, and he's going to get his number raised in the rafters. Everyone knows that. But it might be good to see him play and like try to rebound and be Quick again. It sucks that it's for Vegas, but you know what? Vegas needs goaltending help, first of all. And in order to get that, I mean, Quick's had many, many years. He can help coach other, upcoming goalies. So I think it's a good thing. And it's going to suck when we face them in the playoffs because, Quick's going to come out again. But I just think that fans need to stop holding on to what he was and realize what he is now and realize what we had got in return is going to be best for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the way you got to look at it for all situations. When it's like when your favorite player gets traded, it's like it sucks, but it's just business and it's going to happen.
It happened, and I don't think it happened in the kindest way for Quick. I think he deserved a little more. Yes, it is business, but like they could have, it seemed like he didn't know that was going to happen.
No.
And when
he was left unprotected for Seattle, so he had to have had some general idea. And when you're at this point sitting on the bench and Copley is the number one starter, I mean, you can't just sit back and relax just because you brought two cups to the town or something. But it should have been done better.
Yeah, it feels like he wasn't involved in this decision-making process and like didn't really have a say in it. And I think that's when I think fans get really defensive because for somebody like that and for what he has done for the organization, for the Kings I mean, maybe he did say what he wanted and maybe the Kings didn't like that. I mean, we don't know, right? But it seems at this point that he really had no say in what was going on. And if he really did want to get to Vegas or if that was his top choice, if the Kings were going to let him go, I mean, you could communicate that in some way, like we're going to do our best to figure out a way to get you there. So just hang tight. It might not look pretty, but we're going to do what we can. I mean, maybe they did tell him that, but it sort of seems like they didn't. And who knows what's really going on there between the organization and Quick and these last, like with the trade, with the Seattle expansion in the last whatever year. But I feel bad because that's just a really tough thing to have to go through, like the double team trade situation, which for a guy like him, that sucks. It just sucks, It
does suck. But I think that they had to do it the way they did it so the Kings didn't have to retain any of his contract, of his salary. So I think they did it in a way that the only way that they could have done it, that would have given them the reward that the Kings, what they needed out of the trade. And I did see that Quick, I think, had like 5 other teams that he wanted to go to. And Vegas was one of them. So he ended up there, which is good. It's just the situation kind of sucked. But I mean, it was a waiting game. He never got on a plane to go to Columbus. He stayed in
Wow.
LA the entire time. Stayed in LA the entire time. So
Yeah, I don't think
maybe he was in
they might
talks
have
and
known.
knew.
Yeah, maybe he knew.
Yeah. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. I want to circle back and sort of talk about the Patrick Kane comparison with Quick. Obviously, they're two very different players.
Right.
Clearly, they play very different positions and things. But if you look at those things, Kane obviously used it to his advantage. Well, first of all, he had a ridiculously great contract that really is absurd to have a no trade, no waive, no trade clause, no trade clause for that many years on his contract, like 8-year contract or whatever it was, 7 or 8 year contract. So that's like kind of unheard of to begin with. So he was really lucky, and I think he made the smart decision to take advantage of that at this point and not be subject to what Quick just went through with all of this, like, hopefully they'll do the right thing for me kind of thing, which I mean, in the end, they did. Quick ended up getting to a place he wanted to be ultimately, but I think that's the sort of difference between those two is
Right.
taking advantage of I don't remember what Quick's contract was, but
It was a ridiculous contract. It was like 10 years at, I don't even, X amount of money that nobody wanted to take on when he started to go downhill.
did he have a no
So
trade clause before it expired?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe he did.
Or
I don't
no
remember.
move clause. Sorry, a no move
Yeah.
clause.
I
I
think
mixed
he
those
did.
phrases up.
And he was protected for the Vegas draft, but he was
Right.
left unprotected for Seattle,
Yeah.
which spoke because they ended up protecting Cal Peterson. And it's interesting to see where Cal Peterson is now and who's in goal for the Kings. So, funny business. That's all I
Funny
gotta say. Funny
business.
business.
Also, last thing about Patrick Kane, everybody is now all eyes on him in New York and going, how come he's not performing? And they lost the first 2 games with Kane on their team. Okay, people, let's have a little reality check here. They have to figure out where Kane is going to best fit. And it was a messy start. Luckily, the Rangers have, I think, a couple days to sort of figure out how to make this work because they had a ton of turnovers, the Rangers, and trying to do those east-west passes. They were getting turned over. Panarin was deferring to Kane a lot, and a lot of the players were. And I think that has to be reevaluated, and they have to sort of look for the best play and not just Kane. And I think if they can change this up, figure this out in the next couple days.
Mix up the soup a little, guys.
Yeah, stir the soup.
Okay. Where are these comments coming from, Adam?
I don't know.
My brain.
We got to stir that soup in New York and figure out what comes to the top and what's going to settle to the bottom and figure out where he fits, because you can't just assume that. That's like the same comment when I said, was it last week or the week before? Like, can you have too much talent? Like Toronto, right? Like you get a Ryan O'Reilly, they're struggling too with figuring out where he fits there too. Like it's not that simple when you've got chemistry already going with these star players and then you want to add even more. It takes a minute to figure out. So give it a minute, everybody. Give the Rangers a minute. What else do we want? Where do we want? Okay, let me just finish up this Blackhawks talk and then we can just sort of be done with the Blackhawks. So they also sent Max Domi to the Stars, which we all know there were lots of rumors that Patrick Kane would go there, but I knew he would never go there. Max Domi, though, is a good move for the Stars. I just hate to see this happening to him because he's such a great asset. And I guess that's why he keeps getting moved, but I don't know why. And nobody will sign this kid to a longer contract because he's got such great ability to fit in anywhere and he works hard and he can sort of be molded to whatever line he's on. So kudos to the Stars for getting him, but instead the Blackhawks got See, this is why Patrick Kane made the right decision, because the Blackhawks, in exchange for Max Domi, one of the very few assets they had left, like that weren't a Patrick Kane or Jonathan Toews, got Anton Khudobin, the 36-year-old goalie who's now playing in the minors. And he's not playing very well anyway. The guy's not going to play much longer. And then they got a 2025 second round draft pick. And then they got a goalie prospect, which, okay, that's good. I'm going to try to find silver lining here because it still is my team in Dylan Wells. But then they also got rid of Jake McCabe and Sam Lafferty, who went to Toronto. So like Toronto's really making a push right now. And then defenseman Jack Johnson was traded. So like any and all potential talent on the Blackhawks has been completely wiped out. And we got nothing in return. So if people are trying to make this argument that the Blackhawks should have gotten something in return for Kane, look at what the hell we got in return for Domi. Are you kidding? Like, what kind of move is that? I mean, like, you could argue that what we're doing is absolutely absurd and definitely not positive in any way. Like, I would have signed Max Domi to another 1-year contract and just like waited it out to see what else I could get and what else he could produce. And like, but I'm not a GM. Let me make sure that's all I have to say about Blackhawks things. That's it.
I think so. I think so.
So I can move on from that. I look forward to watching Patrick Kane's career over the next couple of years and see what he can do. He's still got it in him. He's got the ability and the talent, and I wish him all the best in New York.
And he's very fun to watch in New York, I think. So I've watched the past few games. So
yes,
because the Rangers are also my team.
Right, that's right. Breezy's got a fourth team, with an asterisk next to it. This week's episode of the House of Hockey podcast is brought to you by NBA fans. It's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, for a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game, and if it doesn't hit, you'll get a free bet back. Download the app now and sign up with code THPN, that's THPN, for the Hockey Podcast Network. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code THPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void in Ohio. See show notes for details. Let's talk about your Predators.
Yes.
Okay, wait a second. First of all, we said, are they for sale? We think they're for sale 1-2 episodes ago. They are 100% for sale and being completely dismantled. Okay, now go ahead.
Yeah. So last week, I don't know if it was on record or not. I think it was, but I was so mad that they had traded Nino Niederreiter and they just started doing like weird things, right? And I was just like, what is happening? And I think I said that they needed to get a new head coach and a new GM. And guess what happened?
They got one of those.
And Barry Trotz has been in the Nashville area for a while. We talked about this. Gosh, it was last season, I believe, because he bought a house. And so Barry Trotz is now the new Preds GM. I believe it's going to be technically effective June 30th, I believe it was.
Right, the end of the season or whatever.
So I sent it to Ray. I got an email from Barry Trotz himself.
Yes, you did.
It was really cool. And that's what I love about the Preds is like you really do feel like a sense of like family. Kind of. I don't know if you kind of like got that sense. Maybe it might be different, but I forwarded it to Ray and I was like, you got to read this. Actually, I don't even think I even gave you context. I just forwarded it to you. But it was cool. And he like what he said in the email, I'm not going to read it, but it was well worded, first of
Mhm.
all, and it like got you hyped. And he obviously loves Nashville. So that's very exciting. They are for sale, but I'm curious to see what he's going to do. He knows the team, he knows the city, he knows the organization. So I think that he's going to make great, great moves. However, the Preds have traded Ekholm
Yeah.
long time. Like his entire career has been with the
Hmm.
Preds. Tanner Jeannot, who I love.
I
I
know.
was actually wearing his shirt when he got traded, so that was so cool. But
He's
he went to
he also
Tampa.
did a KO. He knocked out a player
Yeah,
already
yeah.
playing for Tampa, so he's doing
He's a
really
good
well.
he's good. I love him. And then they traded Granlund too. Um, that's great. Uh, it's so cool. But they got Tyson Berry, which is great too, because I think it's really funny. They posted a TikTok with him and like sort of like their social team is actually really funny. So I'll send you that. So yeah, they're for sale. It's gonna be a good time. There's only like 3 players that are protected on the Preds, which
Yossi,
is Yossi, uh, Saros, and who am I thinking of? I'm terrible.
I don't know. It's okay. There's been a
I don't
lot
know.
happening.
There has been a lot happening. I was just so excited that Matt Duchene did not get traded because he's my boy. I'm sorry. I love Matt Duchene, obviously. Dutchy. So
Dutchy!
Dutchy.
All caps.
So all caps. Always. If I ever meet him, I gotta tell him the story because it's funny. I didn't mean to do it, but it just happened. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough road for the Preds for a little bit, but you know what? They're still fun to watch. I still enjoy it. Forsberg. Forsberg's the third one that's
Okay.
protected. Sorry. I knew it was gonna come to me.
Wait.
Yeah,
Okay. Are you done with Pred stuff? We have to go back to
yeah.
LA. There was something in LA we didn't talk about.
There's lots in LA that we didn't talk about.
Well, feel like we need to wrap that up with you lost Brendan Lemieux. How do you feel
Yes.
about that?
I liked Lemieux. I
That's what
thought
I
he
thought.
was yeah, I did. I liked him. I like his grit. And I thought that if they were to lose him, that they would become soft because you can't be soft. And Mikey freaking Anderson might be my favorite king because that kid is just he's everywhere. And okay, it was like the last like 30 seconds of the game. That kid put his body in front of like 6 pucks and completely like saved the game. It was incredible. And he's just, I don't know. I just love that guy. Mikey Anderson can't do it all. That's all I'm gonna
No.
say. And Brandon Lemieux, I thought, helped bring that like grit. So we lost him and it sucked. However, we ended up getting McEwen, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who uh brings more grit. Let's just say that.
More?
So more. I sent you the video. He full on like knocked some dude on the ground. He starts skating away and like throwing his arms up like Bash Brother style. And then it was McCarron, I believe, from the
Yeah.
Preds he knocked out. And then McCarron comes back after him and he turns around and he starts beating him up again, knocks McCarron back down, which I mean I shouldn't be so excited about because obviously it's the Preds. But then he skates over to the bench and he's still doing this. He said, "Let's go."
Okay. More grit.
Bash Brother. More grit. I think that's pretty much everybody. I mean, there was like Austin Wagner ended up leaving. He was on the line, the fourth line, I think, over the last couple seasons. He hasn't played. He's played for the Reign this year, but I think the Kings did very good with what they what they did in this trade deadline. So I'm happy with it.
Mhm.
As much as the quick thing sucked, and obviously the Lemieux thing kind of sucked, I'm happy with it. And I mean, they're on a 3-game win streak right now, and I think that they could just keep it going.
They could. We have 3 teams that we sort of have to like, well, maybe 4 that we have to sort of like rapid fire through here because obviously we're not
Yeah,
going to talk about every single team and every single trade because there was like a lot.
A lot. Too many.
But a couple noteworthy ones. So I want to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Cooper is not happy with the way they've been playing the last, let's say 10 games or so. I think they've lost their last 4, the Lightning. So he benched Stammer, Point, and Cooch for the entire third period of Saturday's game against the Sabres, in which they lost tremendously. But positive, they have Tanner Jeannot, and he's clearly, an asset there for them. I'm going to be interested to see if the Lightning can get their shit together in time for the playoffs, because if they can't, this is going to be a problem for them in the long, for the long haul of playoffs. Do you have any thoughts on the Lightning and that move by Cooper? Literally, he's taking aggressive. That was a super aggressive move. It reminded me something of Tortorella would do.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I need to put Cooper's picture up on the wall behind me now too, as well? Is he dabbling in my world of favorite head coaches a little bit? I like the move. You gotta listen. If whatever's happening in the locker room isn't working and you need to bench them, I mean, maybe that'll help get them back on track. The other team we want to talk about for sure, the Big Bad Bruins. They lost Taylor Hall and Foligno to injuries. I think they're going to be out for the remainder. Right?
I believe if all goes well, they could be in towards the end of the playoffs.
Not looking great.
Right.
For the number 1 team in the league right now, right? Or, well, whatever. Maybe they're not at the top right at this very second, but have been dominating this whole season. But they got Tyler Bertuzzi from the Red Wings.
Good in a Bruins. He looks good in a Bruins jersey.
He should have been a Bruin all along. He did well in Detroit, and he definitely learned a lot, I think, and grew his career. But did you see that picture of him? He doesn't tape the top of his stick.
Yeah. Weird. Interesting play.
Is it just
stirring the soup again?
Just stirring the soup, making players think, and
that's his soup stirrer, the tip of a stick.
And then also with the Bruins, they signed Pasta to an 8-year contract.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Well, they in the Red Wings they signed Larkin, and he did this I believe. I was looking at Pagnota, and I think that he was saying that he was going to try to do something. Larkin was going to try to do something for the number, his number 71. So I believe he ended up signing an $8.71 million contract.
That's cool.
But he grew up loving
Michigan
the Red
boy.
Wings.
Isn't he a Michigan boy?
Yeah, Michigan boy. Grew up loving the Red Wings. Always dreamed of playing for the Red Wings, and now he's pretty much probably going to be spending his entire career as a Red Wing, which is really cool.
Right. See, I would not expect Larkin, well, given now this, I don't know how old he is, but if things
25 maybe, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could make a prediction that I would say that he would be the type of guy that would retire no matter what happened as a Red Wing.
Yeah.
Even
if they strip the C and then put him what they did for Brown,
Yeah. I could see that happening.
But that wouldn't happen for a very long time, though.
Well, right. That's what I mean.
I'm making, yeah.
That's what I mean. But did you see how sad Larkin was with Bertuzzi leaving?
No.
He cried. He was so sad.
Oh, no.
They're best buds. God, could you just imagine how awkward and uncomfortable it is for how long do you think it lasts after the trade deadline that it takes teams who've made significant moves and changes to find their rhythm again? 2 games, I mean,
you got to figure
10 games?
they're practicing every day, especially coming down the stretch. They got to do it quick. So I would assume maybe give them a week tops.
Which could be 3 to 4 to 5 games. Yeah,
I'd say so. Because once you start hanging out with pressure. I mean, you get to figure you're hanging out with the team the entire time. You're practicing together, potentially traveling together, and then just trying to build your social your social game with your team,
Yeah.
and then like getting on the ice, having that chemistry. I'd say like at least a week.
Oh yeah. I would
Yeah.
maybe say longer
Yeah.
for that sort of like all those emotions to process.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Dylan Larkin, like you have to process, or like forget that. How about your Bertuzzi and you have to like process that you've just left your BFF that you've been with for so long, and
Yeah.
now you're with this whole new group of people in a city with a team that is very
Yeah.
intense fan base and expect a lot from you.
Right.
But like, how do you process that when you're just trying to survive, right? Like you have to just get on a plane, you have to go, you have to get on the ice, you have to
Mhm.
get your new jersey, you have to hope your equipment made it, you have nowhere to live, you're living in temporary housing, you don't have your
Yeah.
dog, your cat, your friends, your family, and you just have to like figure it out. That's got to be a lot. I don't know
Yeah.
how they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Well,
they
it's
do
probably
it.
just like another road game for them. So they just have to pretend like they're on a road trip, and it's just going to be a permanent road trip until their stuff makes it there.
Jesus.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like the next time we talk to a player, we got to ask them what that transition is like, and if
Yeah.
they at all take that time to go through that emotional sort of space, or is that something you just kind of have to put on the back burner and then like
Right.
cry over the summer for like a month? I don't know. It's probably what
I
I would
don't know
do.
either. I don't know either. Unless you're really happy about the trade, like Timo Meier
Who
going to the
went
Devils.
exactly? He's like, "Phew, thank goodness I went somewhere decent, at least for this season."
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I mean,
That was a
that
good
was a good
move for
move.
sure.
That was a great move. And then the Coyotes we're just gonna brush through these last few here. Coyotes lost Ghostosphere because he goes by Ghost getting it. Ghostosphere to
What
the
did you just say?
Hurricanes.
Ghosts? Ghosts are here,
I said
baby.
I read it I read it as Ghostosphere because his nickname is Ghost, but it's not Ghostosphere, it's Ghostosphere, and I'm probably still saying it wrong, but it's fine because you can't really say his name either, so I don't feel that bad.
Ghost is
Um,
be here.
Ghostosphere here. Um,
Went to the Canes. What's wrong?
we were talking about a freaking ghost, and this door just opened on me. That's fine. Did you not see that?
Uh-uh.
The bathroom door just opened. Creepy.
Dun dun
Okay.
dun.
I know. I feel like I need to close that.
It's not a Jack and
Anyway,
Jill bathroom, is it?
yeah, it is.
Oh.
But he's not in there. Hold on. And the handle fell off.
Does that happen all the time?
Occasionally.
Oh my God. Just okay. Coyote. How do you say this guy's name who went to Ottawa?
Chychrun.
Thank you.
Jakob Chychrun.
That's what I thought.
Finally, we don't have to hear his name for a while, other than he did score his first goal as a Senator, and it was very exciting.
Mhm.
But if I don't hear that guy's name for many weeks, I would be happy with that because there was so much talk about his name over the last like 3 years. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we're moving
Same
on
like
from there.
Kane. Yeah. Oh, and also update, since we are always learning here on the podcast, that the Coyotes are so willing to take on the contracts of players like Shea Weber who are basically retired,
Mhm.
is just so that they can meet the salary cap base, the bottom. They're not even worried about the top. Like they're just trying to keep the minimum. How is this team
Makes
even
sense.
how is
Makes
this
sense.
how is this team
Nah.
even still there? And then I saw some BS about a rumor about the league potentially exploring bringing a team to Atlanta again.
Mm-hmm. And because there's some serious people wanting to do that.
I'm like, we got issues, guys. You can't be trying to put another team in the league when you've got one who's just trying to make the bare minimum of the salary cap. That's got to be really depressing. I feel bad for Arizona fans, man. That sucks. Because also your favorite player, Nick Ritchie, has left the
Oh,
Coyotes. It's not her favorite player, guys.
I hate Nick Ritchie.
And he
I
was
don't know why.
briefly on your one team. He was with the Kings, right? Briefly? Or
No,
was it Preds?
it was the Leafs.
The
He's on the
Leafs.
Leafs.
Hey, I had 1 out of 3 chance to get that right.
There you go.
He was traded to the Flames for his brother, Brett Ritchie.
I didn't even know that there was 2 of them in the league, and now
I
I'm even
didn't
more
either.
mad.
I didn't
Hopefully, I
either.
like his brother.
He has a brother? How come we never hear about his brother? Clearly, we don't, because he's now playing for the Coyotes. Poor guy. I mean, he might be really talented, but Jesus H, that's just depressing.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
know. I think we covered all the main points that were relevant to us. Have you shopped at Pure Hockey? They are America's largest hockey retailer with dozens of stores and the option to shop online. If you or any of your kids play hockey, Pure Hockey is the place to find just about all of your equipment, skates, sticks, gear, bags, jerseys, and accessories. Plus, Pure Hockey is one of our affiliate partners. Next time you break your hockey stick or your kid grows out of his skates, why not check out purehockey.com? While you are looking for hockey equipment, you can also browse around for merchandise from your favorite NHL team, you know who Breezy's and mine are, and make gift giving even easier for your hockey-loving friends and family. And do us a favor, use our special link for purehockey.com when you browse the site and make a purchase, because we'll receive a small commission, which helps me and Breezy create this podcast. Head to the episode's show notes for the special direct link to shop at purehockey.com.
And also, we have 2 more 1,000 games for Jamie Benn and Derek Brassard, we've talked about him before. Those 1,000 games have been for about 1,000 different teams. However, very cool. Big accomplishment.
Have I talked about this before, about how good looking Derek Brassard is?
Yeah.
Was he one of when we did the Bachelorette thing, was he one of my picks?
I think he was. That was a long time ago.
Dang, he's good looking. He's my nomination for a hunk of the week. Holy cow. Ooh. And he had a real emotional side to him when they were presenting him with his, I forgot what they gave him, but
Rolex.
they gave that, and it was like a trophy thing. Some kind of thing, and like a shield, maybe. I might be mixing that up with something else, but I don't know. They gave him something like big. He was getting all emotional, and I was like, how has that guy been a sleeper on my hunks list? So he's my nomination for hunk of the week. And I mean, obviously, we got to put Jamie Benn in there, because obviously, right?
Yeah,
and it's
1,000 games.
1,000 games, and he's a hunk.
1,000 games. Yeah.
Who else do we put in there?
And hunk of the week?
Do we put Barry Trotz in there?
I think I want to do Barry Trotz. Like, that guy just came in clutch. I really enjoyed his email. I actually read it like 3 different times. That's a very me thing. Dude, I did a very Breezy thing. I'll get to that after. We have one more thing to talk about. We don't really have to talk about it. I can go over it quickly.
Wait, do we have any other hunks to nominate?
I don't think so.
I'm just like scrolling through our list here.
I think
do we maybe have to put Chychrun in there?
No.
Like no. Why no?
I'll put Derek. Derek. You just said Derek. Dylan Larkin. I'll put Dylan Larkin.
Oh, okay. She's really cool. Over Chychrun. Okay.
I'm so over Chychrun.
Okay. Chychrun.
Decker.
Okay, Brianna Decker. Yeah.
Retires at the age of 31. Incredible career. She is a 6-time world champ, an Olympic gold and silver medalist. She won gold once and silver twice. 147 games played, 170 points, 81 goals, and 89 assists. Pretty cool.
So
congratulations to her.
Yeah. We're losing a good one there.
Yeah.
To retirement, but
it's okay. She'll do good things here.
Yeah. And then did you see Kendall Coyne Schofield is expecting a baby?
No.
She went, did she play when you went to the game? To
No.
the US and Canada game? The women's game?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I was looking for her.
When was that? January?
December 18th.
She might have just found out because she just
Yeah.
announced it publicly that she's expecting.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know, but there might be other reasons she
Crazy.
didn't play besides that. But yeah, so
Wow.
congrats to the women who do it all. They play killer
Yep.
hockey. They can bear children. They can
Yeah.
do scouting and run camps. And I'm excited to see where she ends up. Like, what kind of like sort of front office position will she get?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah. Yeah. She's an asset no matter which side of the game she stays in, the men's or the women's. So
Exactly.
okay, you got a
I think that's all.
Breezy. Maybe we put
Yeah.
her in hunk of the week.
Yeah. Brandon Decker. We'll put
I
her
think
in.
we put Decker in hunk of the week.
Yeah.
Larkin, Decker, then
Trotz. Brassard.
No, yeah, Brassard. Yeah. No, yeah, that's right.
We got 5. We got 5
right.
this week, guys. 5.
Open for submissions from you guys always. Okay, what is the Breezy thing you did this week?
It's kind of embarrassing, but this is like me in a nutshell. Okay. So at the concert last night, they only had porta potties. So Sarah went into the bathroom first because she really had to go. And I was like kind of waiting for her because I was holding on to her like stuff, her glasses, her phone, whatnot. So I'm sitting there waiting. And then she goes, okay. She goes, I just want to let you know there's some pee on the seat, but it's not for me. I was like, okay, well, who really sits on the seat anyway in a porta potty? Like, let's be real, right? So I'm like, okay. She goes, but other than that, it's fine. I said, okay. So I go in and before I was going to go, I always check for toilet paper because you just never know, you know?
Yeah.
There's no toilet paper.
Oh.
Well, I couldn't just walk back out. Like they would have thought there was like a line of people. They would have thought I did like a 5-second pee. I couldn't just walk out. So I stood there facing the door.
Waiting?
I opened it. Yeah.
So you didn't pee?
No, I
Oh
didn't.
my God. Did you wait and then go into a different porta potty? Or did you go and go get
No.
napkins?
No, I just walked away and I was like, I'll go again in like 15 minutes.
Crazy.
I didn't really have to go. I was just gonna go because I was there. That's a very me thing to do. I just
thought
got
I overthought.
immediately embarrassed.
Why though?
I don't know.
That would have been a
That's like
totally normal thing to just be like, there's no toilet paper. I'm not fucking peeing in there.
Okay, well, in a normal state of mind, that's a normal thing to do. But in my mind, I was sitting there. I was like, I can't walk outside right now. I gotta just wait here.
I have no
There you go.
shame. I get that from my aunt who just made me take pictures of her doing naked snow angels in the backyard. So, you know, that's what I did.
That's what you did. And I just stood in a porta potty because I was afraid to walk out. At least I didn't get stuck. That would have been terrible.
Nightmare.
Anyway,
You know
that's all I
those,
got.
like they do it in movies and TV shows sometimes where they like trap somebody in a porta potty and then they like or was it maybe on Jackass they did it? I feel like I have a very visual memory. That is like a worst nightmare.
Yeah.
To be covered in that.
Too. Yeah, scary too. So like don't make that sound.
Oh God. It's so gross. It's making me sick to my stomach.
And so when we first got there, we were like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So we went into the porta potty, and as like we're in there, I mean, I was in there by myself, but like my sister-in-law wasn't the one next to me. So as we're in there, Ingrid Andress, I can't say her name for the life of me, but she started playing, like her set started, and when it started, it shook the porta potty, and it was like, and I was like, what is happening? Earthquake.
Oh, that would be terrifying. It's terrifying. Yeah, guys,
porta potties are so gross.
Guys have no idea what we have to go through in the porta potty, the squatting situation over that, and like just hoping and praying that You don't touch anything, and you're lucky if there's toilet paper.
Yeah.
I usually
Very
am,
lucky.
if I was there with you, I would have had napkins in my purse and would have given them to you.
Well, thank you.
So I come prepared.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
It's no fun for us women. But anyway.
Enough of that.
Let's see how all these teams do this week.
Yeah. Until next week.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Just